Good morning, friends. My name is Mamatha. I'm an English trainer. So, this is going to be a wonderful opportunity to talk to all of you guys. So, let me talk about myself. As you all know, to become an English trainer, all that we require is a qualification, experience, and of course, all of your support. And UrbanPro has been providing me that since almost like 10 to 12 years. So, let me tell how I started my journey. First of all, to introduce myself with my qualification, I have done my MSc in psychology, that is from Madras University, MA in English honors from Madras University itself, and then B.Ed. So I've also done an additional certificate course which is called TESOL, TESOL, which is from ATI AC America. So here, this particular course will enable any trainer to become a successful trainer with respect to teaching English for students of other languages. So be it like a Japanese student or Chinese or Indian. All right. So this course has really done wonders in my life. So it's really very useful because we I came to know a lot of things, a lot of intricacies and a lot of nonsense where before started teaching and training students in this aspect, that is communicative English. As you all know, the importance of English, it goes far and wide. So it's become a link language more than a business language. So without wasting any time, let me start at the topic of the day. For today, I'm going to teach you all a lot of types of nouns, the uses of it, and all that. All right, let me start. The topics to be covered today, you can see it's lined up, singular plural nouns, countable nouns and uncountable nouns, possessive nouns, pronouns and its types. So you all must be knowing what is singular and plural, correct? So books, tables, it's like that. Countable, what you could count. For example, books, you could count. Uncountable nouns, which you cannot count. For example, stars, rice, sugar. These things, they come under uncountable nouns. Possessive nouns. Possessive nouns in the sense you are the owner of that particular thing. For example, this is my house. This is my house. It is his work. So it is possessive nouns. All right. So you can see a slide here which shows what is singular and plural noun and some examples. All right. So singular noun, that which has one in number, which is one in number. So what are these plural nouns? Plural nouns are words used to indicate that there is more than one animal, place, thing, or idea. The difference between singular and plural nouns is simple. Once, what to look for? We take a look at singular and plural nouns, providing both singular noun examples and plural noun examples to help you recognize plural nouns when you see them. For example, as I told you, boy, boys, book, books, girl, girls. These are singular and plural nouns. So you could take any mother-in-law, father-in-law, sister-in-law, sisters-in-law, sisters-in-law. It's not sister-in-laws. All right. So you should remember, sisters-in-law. You cannot say sister-in-laws. So this is how you have to understand the difference between the singular verb, singular noun, and the plural noun, singular and plural. So it could be anything, basic things like book, books, boy, boys. All right, girl, girls, window, windows, See, do you know, students, whenever you start thinking of this noun, pronoun, and all that, the best way to remember noun is whatever you see around you, they're all nouns. And the feeling. For example, motherhood, it's a noun. Motherhood, it's a noun. Fatherhood, it's also a noun. Brotherhood, it's a noun. All right? Sisterhood, it's a noun. These are called the abstract nouns because you could only feel, you can't measure it. For example, you see honesty. There's a word called honesty, simplicity. So these words are also abstract nouns because you cannot measure abstract nouns. All right? You can only feel. For example, pass, fail, success. All right. All these words you could only feel. Therefore, it is an abstract noun. Therefore, there are many more abstract nouns. Abstract nouns play a very important role. For example, you see, like motivation. I think all of you know this word, right? Motivation, occupation. All these are words. Calculation, calculation. These are nouns. Calculation. These are nouns. So let me go back to the slide again. All right. Now you see, there's another heading, countable and uncountable nouns. Countable versus uncountable nouns. You know the meaning of countable nouns? You could count. You can count, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, like that. Uncountable, which you cannot count. It is seen as a mass. It is seen as a whole. As I told you, class, team, it's seen as a whole. Congregation. Fine? So you cannot count each and every thing in that, every element in that. Therefore, we call it uncountable noun. Okay? So countable noun is a noun that refers to something. It could be counted. For example, 10 students attended the class. There it is, countable noun. Fine? It was a huge gathering, the mass. It was so huge. Okay? It was such a big crowd. And uncountable, I want to add some sugar to my coffee. I want to add some sugar. Okay? I want to add a spoon of sugar. Fine? Sugar is uncountable. Remember that. You cannot, even money is uncountable. You might ask me, ma'am, how is money uncountable, ma'am? I can count 1 rupee, 2 rupee. It's not like that. It's uncountable. Okay? Similarly, so nouns, the basic, the classification, there are two. That is countable, uncountable. Sometimes the same noun could be used or can be both countable and uncountable. All right. So let's go to the next topic, that is possessive noun. As I told you, possessive noun, what is the meaning? It's a noun that possesses something. It has something. For example, possessive nouns usually you have to represent by adding an apostrophe plus s to the noun. If the noun is plural and already there is an s, only an apostrophe needs to be added. In the following sentence, boys is a possessive noun. The boy's pencil snapped in half. Okay? So for example, we'll take some more examples of this possessive nouns. All right? Teachers Teachers lecture. Okay. Children's play area. See, remember one thing, there's no word in English called children's. It's not there. So the area that belong to children, we call it children's play area. Okay. People's representative. People's representative. Okay. Rani's house. Rani's house means the house that belongs to Rani. The house that belongs to Rani. All right. So this is how you need to understand, analyze the possessive nouns. Okay. Kumar's paradise. Right. So you could add any word with an apostrophe to show it is possessive noun. All right. I hope that you have understood this. Next. Okay. See now, there are a few examples that you see on the screen. The boy had a baseball in his hand. The boy has had you could also use has, no problem. Okay. The boy had a baseball in his hand. So now the boy, here it is singular, correct? You could see the plural form, the boys. The boys were throwing baseballs back and forth between bases. Okay. My horse prefers to wear, it is not wear, okay? It is not wear, it is wear. An English saddle. It is not saddle, it is saddle, saddle. Okay, it has to be very soft, softly pronounced. My horse, it is not a my, it's my. My horse prefers to wear an English saddle. So now this my horse is singular, correct? So you could change that to plural form. Our horses, it is not our, okay? Our horses are much happier wearing, it's not wearing, it's wearing, wearing. Okay, this is a very important word. Okay, many students, they tend to make mistake pronouncing this word wearing. They always say wearing. Wearing lightweight English saddles. Lightweight English saddles. The cat, the next one. The cat never seems to tire of jumping in and out of the box. The cat is singular, isn't it? Cat. I know, I hope, I'm sure you all know what's a cat. Cat's an animal, correct? The cat never seems to tire of jumping in and out of the box. So here, it shows that it is a singular form of noun. All right. When you change that to the plural form of noun, those cats, instead of cat, it becomes cats. Those cats never seem to tire of chasing. It is not chasing one another in and out of those boxes. In and out of those boxes. Remember, I would like to tell you all a very important thing. Why at all we have to learn the singular nouns and plural nouns? Just to understand subject-verb agreement. What is it? Subject-verb agreement. Okay, subject is a doer and verb. Subject, verb, agreement. So you must be wondering, what is the subject-verb agreement? Believe me, students, the subject-verb agreement is such an important topic in English language that most of the GMAT questions, most of, you could call even interview questions, fine, you'll find the subject-verb agreement question. Okay, so let me give an example for that. Ram eats a mango. So here, Ram is a singular subject. Eats is a singular verb. See, this is English. Just now we learned that, books, correct? So plate, plates. All right. But you see, I'm calling this eats a singular verb. So this is the beauty of the language. This is the interesting part of the language. Eats is singular verb, all right? Singular, and eat is plural. Plural. So this we have to realize, oh yeah, this is very important. Eats singular, eat plural. That's the reason, in order to attain the structure, a proper structure, when you're learning a language, particularly English, you need to be very sure about this nouns. All right? So because nouns, see, I'll tell you, nouns could be compared to mother. Fine, it takes all the roles, right? But verb is the father of a sentence. Verb is the father of a sentence. It has its own position. Fine, it was just on a lighter note. Fine, you take any sentence for that matter. As I told you, Ram eats a mango. You could also always interchange, right? You take Ram and put mango here. Both are nouns, right? One is a proper noun and the other one is a common noun. You could always interchange this. Did you understand? You could put the object's position in the subject's position and the subject's position in the object's position. So in that case, it's called the passive form. For anything, believe me, students, for any interchanging of sentences, nouns play a very important role. For example, when I'm going to interchange this, all right, I'm going to interchange this and write, meaning shouldn't change and the tense shouldn't change because it's going to be called the passive form, where the object takes the subject's position. All right, so I'll be writing a sentence like this. Mango is eaten by Ram. Got it? I'm not changing the meaning of the sentence. It remains the same. Also, I'm not changing the tense of the sentence. That also remains the same. Whenever you convert one form of a sentence to another form, we must bear in mind the meaning of the sentence and the tense of a sentence is equally important. Therefore, considering all this, I am sure you have understood the importance of nouns. Okay, let me clear the board now. Let me again go back to the slide. See here, I was telling you, that's why, you see, the boy is singular subject. Had a baseball, it is singular verb. So, if you take here, the boys were, plural form of the verb, correct? Auxiliary verb, correct? I'm sure you all, next session, if it's possible, I'll try to teach you what is auxiliary verb also. I'll clear the board now. You see, there are two forms of verbs. One is the auxiliary verb, okay? And the other one is action verb. So remember, when we sit for training, we will think that, okay, only one thing I'm going to teach. That is always there in the mind. But since there's a lot of interrelationship, okay, among the topics, among the topics, on the whole, you need to learn everything. Suppose you know noun, you know verb, you know adjective. So all these are parts of speech. Therefore, this is like, using tools in your PPT or whatever. The font size, the color, correct? So similarly, when you speak or when you write, these elements are very, very important. Using of all these things will make your writing or speech amazing, wonderful. Okay, now let's go back to this again. You see, the cat, the cat is singular. Therefore, seems. Can you see this word? Seems to tire of jumping in and out of the box. You come to the other side, you see that those cats, it means plural subject. And see the verb, the condition of the verb, seem. It's not seems, all right? Those cats never seem to tire of chasing one another, okay, in and out of those boxes. In and out of those boxes. Let me give you another example. You. So remember, in personal pronouns, you've got I. So remember these things. These are very, very important in order to learn the language well. I, you, we, they, he, she, it. So among these pronouns, I, you, even though they are singular, they take the plural form of the verb. All right? I, you, we, they always take the plural form of the verb. Plural form of the verb. Whereas he, she, it takes the singular form of the verb. It takes the singular form of the verb. Got it? That's why when you just saw this particular example here on your screen, you stole, it's in the past tense form. You stole my idea and didn't give me any credit. You stole my ideas, because it is idea is singular noun, ideas is plural noun, and didn't give me any credit. Your mom is going to be upset about the broken lamp. Your mom, it's singular, fine. Our moms are trying to be upset that we stayed out all night going to parties. So this is how the singular nouns and the plural nouns can be understood very, very clearly. See, I have shown you a few examples here. Okay, a, and, 2, 3, 4. It could be any number. You could use for countable nouns. Each one of us wants to be excellent. You cannot say each one of us want to be excellent. Right? Too many. There are too many. Every. For countable nouns, you could use this. A few. Another. Several. A large number of students are gathered. A small number of people. Very few students. Very few teachers. Very few businessmen pay their taxes. So you understood? For countable nouns. For uncountable nouns, it is a large number, okay? Lot, less, much, too much. For example, I want less sugar in my coffee. I would add less sugar in my tea. Okay? Next. So I told you in the beginning itself, some words are used, some keywords you can call it, for both countables and uncountables. For example, any is anybody, some, someone is knocking at the door. No, no, no one wants. None of them, a lot of. Hardly any student, hardly any students. Not any other. These words we could use for both countables and uncountables. See now, you could see in the next slide, would you like to have some tea? He ordered a tea for me. He ordered a tea for me. Here, A is used. Even though T refers to what? T refers to uncountable. But you're using the word A there. Okay? In the first sentence, even though T is normally uncountable, okay, even though T is, would you like to have some tea? In the second sentence, we are using referring to a T, countable, countable, all right? So in the second case, it is uncountable. It is uncountable. Now, this is a small brain teaser for you all guys. Just try if you could add some or any. Some, any. Some, any. She likes dash sauce in the salad. She likes some sauce. All right? They eat some fruits for breakfast. I would like to give you some advice. See, remember, there's no plural form for advice. There's no word like advices. Okay? Can you give me some information? It is not information. Can you give me some information? Information, see the intonation there. Can you give me some information about helping work? So, normally, when you learn intonation, or you can say the tone or tune of English language, you should know way to raise and lower your voice. All right? Would you like to eat some popcorn? Will you share any beauty tips with us? Please help yourself to plunge any flowers, some flowers. Are there any customers in the shop? There is some milk in the fridge. Can I have some water, please? There are some parents in the park. Okay, I would like some kiwis. Okay, so this is how you need to learn nouns. Now you see, next we'll go to pronouns. A pronoun is a word that can function as a noun phrase used by itself and that refers either to the participants in the discourse. The word either can also be said either, okay, or to someone or something mentioned elsewhere in the discourse. So you won't believe, students, there are 100 pronouns. I don't want to name all the 100 today. I would like to mention few of them. Even the categories, okay? You don't have to learn the technical terms under which these 100 pronouns are segregated. You please know the words, that itself is enough for your communicative English. Supposing you're doing your master's degree in English or something else, definitely you can know even the technical terms for it. As of now, let's learn few of them, okay? I, we, you. See, when you say you, the mouth, the shape of your lips should be rounded. About this, I'll be teaching you separately. Fine? The phonetics part, the pronunciation part. There is no pronunciation, it's pronunciation. He, she, it, they. It is not they, it's they. So now you can say me. See, this is object pronouns, me. They offered me a ride. Me is an object here, correct? Now, this letter is addressed to me. So it is telling that it is telling about me. It is sent to me. Okay? So it's called the object pronoun. They gave us free tickets to the show. Object pronoun. All right? Next. Possessive pronoun. Mine, ours, yours, hers, his, theirs. The green gloves are mine. The green gloves are mine. The cat is hers. The cat is hers. See these mine, hers, theirs. You could also think of any other example. For example, it is hers. It is his house. These are theirs. These are theirs. Understood? Next. Pronominal. Pronominal, that means adjective. You see, my mother, my father, my sister. Okay? Our house. It's showing that it is an adjective. So you can write, for example, see, I said my mother. My mother. Our house. Our house. Your teacher. Your teacher. Her brother. So all these things, we call it the possessive forms. We call it the possessive forms. Now you see, their. It is their work. The credit has to go to them. It is their work. The credit has to be, they have to be credited for it. The credit goes to them. Next is reflexive pronoun. This is a very common thing. I think you might have, the easiest group to remember, isn't it? Okay. For example, myself, yourself, herself, himself, itself, yourselves, themselves. Okay. So it reflects. Reflexive pronouns means it shows how the actions of an aforementioned person or group affects them or him or her. Okay. So next. Intensive pronoun. I myself was certain of the facts. The trouble in the machine itself, the trouble is in the machine itself. The cooks themselves eat after all the guests have finished. So now, intensive, the word itself tells you what kind of pronouns these are. It ends with self or selves. But the functioning is different. Intensive pronouns not only refer back to the previously mentioned person, but also they emphasize. The name itself is suggesting that it is intensity or intensifying. Okay. So thank you. Thank you for watching, and keep in touch in case you want any guidelines, any guidance regarding English, IELTS, GRE, GMAT training, etc. Okay, soft skills, business English, all that. Thank you very much.